That's some great music. Oh, good evening. How's everyone?
Good.
Love that music.
Oh yeah.
Love that music.
That means it's party time.
Yeah, we need one of them fired up hours. You know what I mean? You know, where John rants on just about anything and every. We haven't had one of those for a while, so I'm feeling it tonight.
Well, I got to go one tonight.
All right, good to hear. Good to hear. All right, welcome everybody. We're This Fan's View. I don't think we need an introduction. Hell, we've been doing this for 299 shows now, right?
97, right?
Oh, is it 297?
Yeah, Ben Davis is the 300 show. So.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oops. That's okay. It's all good. We're right
sorry.
there.
Well, isn't that next week?
No, Hollis is next week.
Hollis Thomas is next week.
Oh, yeah. What am I? Oh, yeah. God. I need to go back to elementary school.
That's all right. It's all good.
It's all good.
I know I had something to tell you this morning.
Hi, Joe Stinger. You got my back. Can you be my shield? I think they're looking to beat me up tonight. Anyway, welcome, Lauren, Anthony, John.
All good. Phillies are doing well.
What's that?
Phillies are doing well right now, starting off.
Tonight, anyway.
Yeah.
Tonight. Is that part of your rant?
Don't
answer that. Don't answer that.
Something about the game is
don't answer that.
We got two rants tonight.
Yeah, don't answer that. Why?
We only get 2 minutes, so they must be a minute.
I'll make it fast, but there's 2 points that are just fitting for tonight, so it's kind of
all right. Very good, very good. Let's talk about our fantasy baseball. I know. You've been doing some analytical work, so maybe you want to show it off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I just showed off the one graphic there. We're doing a little bit of graphic work here, but yeah, we got 85 people into the contest right now, which is great. It's a long season, so it's going to be fun, and it's been enjoyable so far. There's been a few injuries that have bounced it up here and there that we've been taking care of for everybody to get their replacements in for those who wanted replacements, and those who are waiting it out are going to wait it out.
How's that Albies guy doing?
He had that broken toe. he broke his toe. He's going to be out, possibly 4 to 6 weeks. They said.
Whose pick was that, Lauren's or Anthony's?
Both.
Yeah, it was probably a combo pick.
All right,
but we're sticking with them.
You're sticking with them. You're going on the IL too.
Yep.
Just so you know, everybody else dumped them. So.
Oh, rude.
Well, I mean, you got the average injury they said for the big toe injury is 5 weeks. So people don't want to give up 5 weeks of points. So because it leads to this new graphic as well for the leaderboard. So the ones that are going there for the leaderboard. As you can see, Mario Gallo, he's in the lead right at the moment. He took over last week's leader of Harry Cosgrove. So,
put that graphic back up. Put that graphic back up a sec.
Oh, I know. You're looking at that right column, aren't you?
Put that Look at that crap. John O'Brien.
I know. I had to listen. I had to listen to that all week since Sunday. Since I mentioned it, she goes, "Am I still beating you this week?"
Is that homegrown coaching right there? What is that?
No. You know what it is? This is like your typical NCAA tournament bracket thing. Just pick the colors or whatever. Jen knows nothing too much about baseball. She knows a little bit with the Phillies here and there, but she picked everybody that had funny names. She said, "I'm going with the funny name team," and so far it's working out for her. So, I guess you can't complain too much about it.
All right.
Yeah, she's got me by 1 strikeout right at the moment. Damn it. Not that I'm counting or anything, but
no, I know you're not.
That's why I haven't been able to sleep this past week since Sunday. Once I got the scores all out there.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's been good. We've been
Is that the big injury, Albies? Is that the big injury so far?
Well, no, Spencer. Both of them have been to the Braves with Spencer Strider.
That's true. Yeah,
you know, that's a big one for them. You know, but they keep plugging along. They keep winning. I mean, they've taken 2 now against the Astros down there, going looking for the sweep themselves. You know, that team just they can just hit, and they bring guys up from the minor leagues, and they're filling in just as nicely. So,
all right. Well, let me.
Nice. But
let's get back to our script because
first I got good news also about the fantasy baseball I got to talk about.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're on the time restraint here, so.
All right. Well, I just got I got good news because I'm getting excited. This old dog's learning new tricks. I got Google spreadsheets going.
Wow.
So it's working. I got to just fix a couple little bugs. You know, my IT guy's working on it, and so we get those, and then that'll be posted up on our page so that we can have all the scores and everything up on the this fans view page, so we can on Facebook there, so everybody could see all their scores.
Wow, look at you, Johnny.
Oh yeah. Yep. I'm learning. It's tough, but I'm figuring it out. I got to figure out how to add up everything other than using a calculator, because that's all I'm doing right at the moment.
In a Google sheet?
Yeah, I mean, I know how to do it, but it's to add up every week's scores is the hard part. To write 26 codes times 87 teams.
I got you. Okay.
To me, until somebody figures it out for me, the math's a little bit easier just to hit the calculator and just add up each week. But that's my little quirk that I got right at the moment. But everything else is ready to go. So yeah, so it's all good. And then we're going. But and the best part about it is that us hosts we're kicking ass right at the moment. We're kicking ass and taking names. We got a what's the tally here? We got we have 605 points for us, and the viewers have 520 points so far. So they got a little bit of catching up to do.
All right.
So
are you done?
Yes, sir.
I'm just making sure we're moving right along here.
You got it.
Because we got a new deputy in town, and I'll get an email in the morning that the show went off course, and
it happens.
I didn't follow instructions.
That happens.
All right, we're gonna dive right back into our first bit of conversation, and you're dressed for the occasion, so we're gonna throw it to you, Lauren.
Okay.
You know what night it is.
Mm-hmm.
Has your opinion changed since Sunday?
No.
Man, I can't believe you're dogging the big guy. But go ahead, break the news. Break the news to the listeners. Let them know what I've been hearing, and show no mercy.
What was that noise, John?
Lauren's she hung out with me Friday nights, and I'm rubbing off on her that much that she's taking down the big man.
I just think it's time. I think it's time to move on from him.
All right, time out.
Okay.
Time out. Jesus Christ, they haven't even started the playoffs yet.
Yeah, but nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change.
This is probably the best team that they've had since he's been in Philadelphia. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Definitely the deepest.
This has got to be. I mean, tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. I
don't know that it's the best team he's had since he's been here, but I don't think that's going to make a difference, because they are going to do everything they can to get him the ball constantly. The team just feels and looks different when he's not in the game.
Is Is he not a top 3 player in the NBA?
Absolutely. And I used to think that they could use that to their advantage, but now I think it's becoming a hindrance to them.
You got to be able to pass that ball. You know, when they give it to him down low, you got to be able to pass it to a Tobias Harris. Those guys got to hit the shots. He's got to be used as a weapon. If you just go to him and he goes to shoot every time, all you got to do is stop him from making the points, and it's over with. I mean,
this isn't about, what's going to happen in the off season. This is about the playoffs ahead and what could potentially happen. So regardless whether they win or lose tonight, they're in the playoffs, right?
Correct.
Well, no.
They got to win.
They got to win because
it's a playing game, right?
So what happens?
I guess yes, you're right because they'll get the 8th seed if
right.
So
right.
I don't even.
No. If they lose both games, they're out.
What both games? What game?
Well, they play the Heat tonight,
right?
And then if they win, they're the 7th seed.
Right. Yep.
If they lose,
who?
I'm sorry.
And they play who?
Well, if they become the 7th seed, they play the Knicks.
Okay, that's one scenario.
Well, that's one scenario. If they lose tonight,
yep,
then they have to play the winner of the 9-10 seed,
right,
to get that 8th seed. So
which is Atlanta and
Orlando, isn't it?
Orlando, right?
So they would have to play that team to get the 8th seed. If they lose the 2 games, they're out, and then right. Orlando or
right. And
Atlanta would get the 8th seed.
I'll bet every dime I have that scenario doesn't exist.
Oh well, no, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean that's a little bit far fetched there. But then you drop if you lose tonight, you hopefully drop to the 8th seed and stay in the playoffs. But
I'm eager to see the how they go about this tonight. Are they just going to keep feeding him the whole time? And he's got to score like 60 points, in order to win the game. And then what do they do?
When we were there on Sunday, it was a nice sort of well-rounded team effort. Nobody sort of like ran away with it. But if they lose both games and don't even make it to the official playoffs, you have to blow the whole team up.
Well, basically, the whole team is blown up because they only have 3 guys coming back next year.
But,
four. They signed
Council, the 4th, right?
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. But the Embiid show, the whole thing, it's over. The experiment is over. We haven't gotten enough from him to warrant just one more year. So I need at least out in the 3rd round type of production to feel different. And I just don't think you're going to get that from this team.
I don't know. You feel like people are that excited around town? I mean, I don't feel like that excitement from players. I don't know.
I do. Sunday in a
yeah, but that's
in a crappy ass game against the Nets. The place was packed. The energy was there. We sat next to a fully energized 76er season ticket holder who played out every scenario possible, and
that's in a vacuum. I'm talking about the general Philadelphia fan. I feel like the general Philadelphia fan, I don't want to say necessarily feels just like Lauren, but probably feels pretty similar. You're in a vacuum of 20,000 people that are there no matter what. I'm talking about the fan base is like, man, what the hell is it going to take for this team to do something? And if they don't do it now, when are they going to do it?
The tough thing is they're sort of like the team that cries wolf. Every year it's kind of become the same thing over and over again.
There's always something. There's always something.
The Phillies are on. They're doing okay. There's not any reason to really get all in on this team until they prove you otherwise.
Well,
if they go, let me say this: if they get past the 2nd round, people will start being excited. I think they're just no one's convinced with him being hurt all that time and now coming back, and these guys that they still don't totally know the team very well. I mean, they're relatively new, a few months in. I mean, they gotta prove to us that they can, and I hope they do. I hope they can beat everyone and show them that they're a great team, and then everyone will change their mind. But as of today, I'm not that sold just yet.
I'm still in the big fella's corner. He plays too hard. What's that?
That's half the problem.
Well,
you got to take care of that body when you're that big, unless you're not going to play long.
I mean, injuries happen. You know what I mean? Injuries happen. You want to talk about injuries, and I don't want to flip the page and start talking about the Phillies quite yet. But look at the other side of Patterson Avenue. I mean, Bryce Harper isn't the healthiest individual in Philadelphia.
No, he sure isn't. But a couple of things there. He's not nearly as big as Joel Embiid, so he bounces back a little bit quicker. And you carry way more guys on the team that it's easier to replace him when he's out. There is a serious void when Joel Embiid isn't there that the team can't even.
Yeah.
Well,
there's that
8 or 9 weeks, that they were missing, Joel. They patched it together. You know what I mean? I thought they did an outstanding job. This is probably the best coach that we've had here in Philadelphia.
Well, that's the big part, yeah.
I mean, it's huge. John, we went back and forth about this. You even commented, and, I don't want to steal any of your thunder, but, you didn't think there was a coach that wanted to come to Philadelphia.
No,
you know what I mean? Right. And you probably got the best coach.
Yeah. No, it was.
You look at the Bucs scenario, they fire a solid second place team and bring in Doc Rivers, and they haven't done squat.
Yeah. They've fallen apart.
I know all about, second round exits and first round exits and injuries, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I just think this is I'm going out on the limb. This is the best team that Joel's had in Philadelphia so far.
So in that scenario, then, I would imagine you would say that you think they should go the furthest this year of all the other years. Do you think that?
100%.
How far do you think they can actually go?
Well, and I'm going to lean heavy on the entire team, because Joel can't do it by himself. You look around the league, when LeBron's putting together the big three wherever he goes, there seems to you have to have a nucleus of three superstars on a team, to get there. Do we agree?
We agree, but the problem is Joel Embiid has to know
about the other two
that he can't do it all.
Well,
and who are your three? Him, Maxey. Who's the third?
Tobias.
Well, Tobias better show up tonight.
It's a combination. Right now, I'm in love with Kelly Oubre Jr. Yep. I'm in love with his shot. I'm in love with his court presence. He's not afraid to take the ball to the basket. I think it's a combination between him, Buddy Hyde, and now Kyle Lowry. You put all those pieces together, and I just look at the offense that they can generate, and I think it takes a lot of pressure off of Joel, that he doesn't have to give it 150% every game.
Well, and tonight's the big game.
It is. It is, because you don't think Jimmy Butler wants to stick it in their, the knife in their Sixers back.
Oh yeah. Well, but I'm saying, tonight's the night, because if you beat the Heat, you become the 7th seed, and you don't play the Celtics until the conference finals in the third round. And if you lose tonight, you're playing them the first round, which I'm okay with playing them in the first round personally, because you're the healthiest you're going to be at that point. With Embiid, because you don't know what's going to happen.
I'm with you, Brian Brown. We discussed that if they lose the next two, they're golfing on Monday. So
Right.
They can't afford to lose the next two. So
no.
And you know what?
Tuesday and Friday.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
There's a concert Friday night.
It's been canceled.
Oh, has it? Okay.
It's been there. I think the last
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. I think they moved it to Thursday night.
You weren't going? Okay.
He was real excited when we saw the sign at WrestleMania, wasn't he?
I didn't know who that was.
I know you don't.
That was my point. That was my point.
But I think a lot of it's going to come back to this year is going to be totally different because you got coaching this year, and it's not going to all rely on Embiid. And yes, I agree with you, Lauren. You know, Embiid is that person. He thinks he's got to do it all, but I don't think Nick Nurse is going to allow that to happen with this team. And you know, having Lowry on the team that's been through some playoff battles, you know, he knows what it takes as well to you know, he's not going to kowtow to him like Harden did. I
hope we see tonight him use Embiid almost like you're supposed to use him as almost like a decoy. You get him the ball down low, get someone wide open, and that person's got to make the shot. If he needs to shoot, he should shoot. But you got to hope Tobias and some of these guys stand up. I mean, Tobias also, you know, this is it, right? I mean, he needs a big contract somewhere after this, so he better make some shots, especially going into the playoffs. So, I don't know. I just hope it's good. I hope it all goes well.
This is the year they're going to shock us all.
Shock the world.
Yep. You've been you know, we've been having so much expectations on them that they're going to do something. And you know, let's face it, the Celtics are probably the best team in basketball, right?
Now that the Warriors are out, yes.
You know, so I mean, it's
we got to do it at some point.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But it's so like if we lose in the conference finals, it's like okay, yeah, you know, it's not a great thing, but it's you're playing the team that's going to should win the championship.
All right,
if everything works out.
Do you think, John? You think this team can win the championship with what they have?
They have the pieces, yes. Or it just depends on how I don't know that they match up completely with Boston, but this team does have all the pieces that it should be able to, have a good run at it. Whether I just think they might be a little bit short when it comes to Boston, but
who's the Celtics big man?
The guy that we got that came here and
Al Horford.
Horford, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a joke.
Yeah, but again, the matchups though, if we beat the Heat and then the Heat wins the 9-10 matchup to get 8th seed,
then knocks them out.
They knock out the Celtics and then boom, we're looking good.
Well, who do you play? The Knicks, I feel like, could be a little dangerous at times.
They can, but they're hurting a little bit.
They don't have Randall. They're missing. Yeah. They're missing. They don't have a big man.
And I think with Embiid being there, I think there's nobody else in the East. The Bucks are a little bit, but they got Rivers as the coach. So that's
Giannis is Giannis back?
He's hurt. I mean, yeah. So I mean, he's not going to be 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the only team that you got to worry about is the Celtics. For the whole NBA. So you get if somebody knocks off the Celtics, which has happened in the past years. Then their paths open up a little bit.
The West is still dangerous. So,
what happened to the Clippers? Are they in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you just got to win tonight. Then you got
the Clippers out west. You got the Lakers. You got Phoenix. You got Denver. I mean, the strength. They're strong out there.
Yeah, but they beat themselves. They'll beat themselves up, and
100%. I agree.
To get to the finals, and
I agree.
Which, hopefully.
I agree. I like the nucleus, but we're halfway through the show already, and I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of juice already, but do we need to move into John's neighborhood and hear his rant?
Absolutely.
All right.
Grab your popcorn.
Get the popcorn ready. Here we go.
John, you got 2 minutes.
We'll see.
All right. Well, I mean, like I said, this is fitting for tonight. Baseball with their scheduling, playing these games. You got the Colorado Rockies playing here in Philadelphia. That shouldn't happen. in April when the weather in the Northeast is as bad as it is. You got 8 teams in the league that have domes. You got 6 other teams that have, very good weather conditions. And then the other 16 teams have bad weather conditions in April. So why are these teams playing so many home games against teams that don't come in here all the time? If a knucklehead like myself can figure this out, the geniuses that are getting paid millions of dollars should be able to figure this out. The Rockies shouldn't be coming here. If anything, we should be playing the Marlins or the Nationals or the Mets that eventually later on in the season we'll be playing them again. So we don't have to have fans sitting out there for 2 hours all night, night long to get these games in because these teams don't come back again. I mean, look at what it was with the Reds. It took what? It was supposed to be a 1:00 game, and then ended up being like an 8:30 game by the time
And they stopped selling beer too, by the way,
in the second inning. So I mean, and I don't drink beer, but who's gonna, who wants that to happen? And so it's just, I don't know. It's so easy to be able to, the Philly should go play the Marlins to start the season. Play the Braves down in Atlanta, then come up and play the Mets and the Nationals. And if the rain happens, you move on. And then you go out and play out west. You got teams that you can go play out west, and you're going to play them anyway at some point during the year. Why play them in June and July when it's 100 degrees out, and you got bad weather here?
Okay,
it's just not good for the fans. And then another thing, because I'll move past that one since I know I'm getting probably a little bit close here on time. What the hell's up with these game times starting at 6:00 at night on the East Coast? It's ridiculous. People, first of all, don't get out of work. I mean, what are you doing for fans to get out there? The games are super fast now. It's like yesterday's game was over at 8:30. I barely got my shoes off last night and sat, after feeding a dog and sitting down and the last pitches are gone.
Did you say feeding the dog or feeding the dog?
You can't say that. You got a humane Pennsylvania person.
I just said feed the dog, didn't I?
I thought you said beating the dog. I was like, wow, all right.
No, feeding the dog.
It was right after you said you took your shoes off, so I figured that's what you use the shoe for.
Not me.
Beat the dog.
But I sat down and I'm like, okay, now I'm seeing Ricky Batalco ready to go. I saw the last 2 pitches of the game when I sat down. I'm like, what the hell? And then you start the game earlier tonight at 6:00. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous. You're not making it fan friendly, and who's watching these games? The kids aren't watching them. I want my baseball back. I want to be able to sit down and watch the game and be over at 9:30, 10:00. What's the difference? It's ridiculous.
Well, Johnny,
are you done?
Can I make a couple quick points because I agree with you pretty much there. But the issue that they're having is, and I don't know if we talked about it here or I was talking to someone else. If it was here, I apologize. But there aren't many games, and it could have been here, where you feel like you're the division winner because you don't play. I think we talked about it here. You don't play that many games in the division because they want every team to play every team for the most part.
Oh yeah.
So you play Colorado, you got whatever. So it's never going to work perfectly, but they want you to play more teams because they want everybody to be able to see it. Okay, that's great.
But isn't that dependent on something now? Because at the end of last season, it depended on who won a series. That's why you have to play every team now.
I don't know.
Well, right, because it messes up with the schedule. And that's my point. There's 14 teams that have domes or warm weather teams, and there's 16 that are in shitty weather. So it's easy. Just go play those other teams early in April and then, get those games over with. And then, of course, you got to play home games because you need your home openers and that kind of stuff. So you play your divisional games that first week that you're home. And you play divisional games because that way in July you can go back and play those teams when they're at home, so fans don't have to be sitting out there for 8 hours. And then like Rockies.
So let me get this because I'm taking notes and I'm calling the Major League Baseball office tomorrow. You don't have a problem with them playing all those teams. You just have a problem with them playing now versus later when the warmer weather is out there. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, just look at everybody in the East Coast, Boston, Chicago's, and Cleveland's and stuff. Those teams are playing out in bad weather,
right?
Which leads to players being hurt. Which it's just not good for baseball when you have. Why are you going to have the Dodgers coming in here in July when they could be playing them in? Well, the Dodgers can come here in July, but I mean, we have to go out and play the Dodgers in July or August. Well, why do that now? You know what I mean? It's like you should be going out there and doing that. Or the Rockies. We should be maybe playing the Rockies out in Colorado right now instead of being at home.
Well, where was the game the other day and it was snowing? Was it Milwaukee?
Well, Milwaukee's got the dome, so it might have been Minnesota. Might have been Minnesota.
Pirates home.
The Pirates played in the snow. Whoever was it snowing in Pittsburgh?
It was snowing in Pittsburgh, and they had not that this matters, but they just had that the flood of the river, so you couldn't go down by the river because it was flooded, and then you're snowing. Everyone had winter coats on. But I guess the problem, John, 100% what you're saying is right. I know that they want. My thing is, I understand that they want you to see if you're a kid in Colorado to be able to see the A's, whatever. But in reality, if the Yankees come to town or the Red Sox come to town or whatever, I get it. But are that many people itching to watch the Pirates play the A's or the Pirates play, the Diamondbacks or something? I mean, I get.
But you have to. But that's the way the schedule is. So you're playing them. So go out and do them when the weather's nice.
Well, that's too much thinking on their end. It's never going to work because they haven't played too many games and not enough in the division. That's the problem. You got to play your division more. What's the point of the division if you don't play your division more?
I got the Google Express sheet. I can figure this out. I'll have that scheduled for them. No problem. I'm good at this now. We don't need this AI stuff that you see advertising for the not Allen Iverson, the AI stuff. That's what was it on the that does the NFL scheduling in like 2 minutes. The JOB can take care of it.
Johnny, the other thing to mention with the times, I think they're just trying to do them a lot earlier. And what is the reason?
Bullshit.
I think we were in Pittsburgh, and that's different. It's a Sunday. We were in Pittsburgh. The game was at 11 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's horrible.
We were on the road by 1 o'clock. It was good for us, but I think a lot of these in the week games in April and May,
they know that a lot of people aren't going to them.
They're making the money on TV, so they just want to get it over with.
Right. They're just waiting for school to break mid-June.
Yeah.
That's their sweet spot. Those half of June, all of July, and then half of August till school goes back again. They're just because the Fightins do the same thing. Before school lets out, those games are like 6:45.
Yeah, gates open
at 6, so it gives you 45 minutes. But once school lets out, their games aren't until 7:15.
You got 2 hours there. So, yeah, I mean,
it's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Now, I will say our games are the opposite though. We don't play early games. I mean, we don't play any 1 o'clock games. We play 3 and 5 o'clock games, and then 6 and 7 o'clock games for the other.
With the 1 o'clock on a Sunday, 3-4 o'clock on a Saturday. That's fine. It's 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
Well, when you talk to some of these guys, because I was talking to one of the guys at the Pirates, I don't want to say a lot of these teams just punt, but essentially the months of April, so a lot of the major league teams in the Northeast, if you're not the Yankees, you're just punting because you're going to get people watching on TV no matter what. So they're just doing whatever they can to get through the games. And the earlier for them, the better because they can go home and go to bed. They don't care.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if they're playing these other teams that are in warm weathers or in domes,
no, you
don't have to worry about punting. And
if
better ratings.
If they were playing the Yankees tonight, this game would be later.
Well,
because
it would be.
I think it might because you want to make some money because no one's coming from Colorado to watch this.
Well, no, but it's still not. It's just not the point. It just.
Can I interject
help the fans
something
out here a little bit? Go ahead.
What happened to the 2 minutes?
Well, my rant was 2 minutes, and then there was talk about it after.
Anthony's rebuttal.
There's no rebuttal. I agree with him.
Yeah, it's great. I'm looking at what John's saying. I mean, I agree with it, and then I look at the competition, and I heard during the first inning of the game that the Rockies had scored 1 run in their first 18 innings in the first inning, one run. And I'm like, these games aren't hardly very competitive. I mean, the Rockies have a chance to be swept out of Philly. So, do you think they enjoy it?
Well, no, but
they'd rather probably be home.
Well, but just look at the fact. Like today, it was supposed to rain today, but unfortunately, it came like 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock. The rain came. Yep. Otherwise, these fans that had the game tonight, or Colorado, are going to be sitting out a rain delay, during the game. They got lucky tonight. It's just not good for any of the Northeast teams. It's not just the Phillies either. It's just, you sit through all these teams sitting through these rain delays and injuries. It's just not good.
All right, John.
All right.
You know what? I'm giving you an A+. But,
thank you. I appreciate it.
But I think you can do. I think you can do better.
Then an A+.
I'm giving him an A+ because I understand he put a lot of time and energy into that. You know what I mean? But the rants that we're asking for are those old John rants.
We'll be getting into them. I'm just warming up here.
Warming up.
Just warming up.
Warming up like the weather.
And plus having that 2 minutes, it's like you got to like actually like focus. Where the other rant just kind of went on and it just
now you want 4 minutes.
No, I'm not asking for that. I'm just saying that's why you got what you got.
Well, next time when you're chit chatting with your buddy over there, you can tell her, say, hey, I need extra time.
Nope. 2 minutes.
2 minutes is fine.
I need extra time. You got her right where you got her right where you want her. You can get just about anything. So
that's a lie. That's all.
But
while we're talking baseball, we're talking baseball town. You guys had a great first week. Did you win any games?
He doesn't know.
I think so. Yeah, I think we won some games. It felt like we did.
What does that mean? It felt like you did.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
Opening night was good. We had our.
They won that.
Yeah, we had our biggest opening night weeknight of all time, which is pretty good because, in comparison, if you had like 8,800, 8,900 on a Friday, to have 8,700 on a Tuesday is pretty good. The bobblehead, I think, definitely resonated. People really enjoyed that. It was a fun time. Got a couple. We lucked out in beautiful weather, 76 degrees, and people in shorts, and it was a great day. The rest of the week was pretty cold and a little wet, but Sunday was good as well. So both of the days that we had good weather, people were there, and people were excited for it, and people excited about the new building and asking questions about it, and everything's been good so far. New video board people are excited about. It's huge. It reminds you of Citizens Bank Park. It's everything's been good so far. Busy but good.
All right.
I had a question. When I was going up to the buffet on Friday.
Go on.
You forgot the question.
Do you want something?
No. Are the away teams still using the same dugouts from clubhouses last year?
So for this year, I don't know that they're going to be done in time for the for them. So this year you do feel a little bit bad this year for the away team because all that stuff is for our team is pretty much done at this point, except the batting tunnels. Now for them, it stinks for this year, but next year they're going to have the best visiting clubhouse in America for a AA team, if not higher. It's going to look just like ours. It just because that was not fully done as part of the plan with the new huge double batting tunnels that they're building down there. They got to do a little bit of walking and so it's not ideal for them this year. But yeah, by the end of the season, the latest for next season, that whole project will be fully done and everyone will be able to be out there. The bullpens will be moving behind the video board later this year in the next month or two.
Right.
So yeah,
they were using the old indoor batting cages.
Yeah. I think they're sharing our indoor batting cage right now. So they got to do a little walking. They got to walk there. They got to walk to the outfield. They got to walk back. It's not ideal, but there's really not another way we can do it. You kind of feel bad because we're done and they're not, but that's not like how it was scheduled. It's just kind of how it happened.
Right.
But yeah, eventually next year they'll be out there, and the batting tunnel is just walking in there. Like when we can start doing tours and stuff in June, it's a massive facility that they have out there. So yeah, this year it's probably they probably have one of the worst player amenities this year, but next year they'll have the best.
There you go.
Awesome. All right. Tom brought up a point about the game, the Phillies game tonight starting at 6. I think it always was scheduled for 6 o'clock because, you know, the Sixer game kind of got thrown in there because of the play-in situation, you know. So he was asking about, was it a time change because of the Sixers across the street? So I just wanted to, you know, address that issue.
Bad Bunny, I think it was the reason why.
No, that's Friday night. Bad Bunny's Friday night.
He had a practice or something. I don't know.
Were you guys going?
Oh, of course.
I figured.
Everybody likes Easter, right? Is that what that is? Easter
That's exactly what it is.
Inappropriate bunny.
Yep.
All right. I didn't have this in my notes, but this is a last-minute ad. I'm sure everybody's familiar with New Heights podcast, Travis and Jason Kelsey, and last week they were out in Ohio doing a live podcast. Did you see where Jason officially lost his Super Bowl ring?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the landfill in Cleveland somewhere.
I mean, is that unfriggin' believable or what?
Well, it's just typical Jason Kelsey.
How did he lose?
I just find that, and you know, it's like ho hum.
Mud wrestling, the mud wrestling thing, I think.
No, wasn't it Chili?
Oh, Chili, that's it. Yeah.
I'm like, seriously?
Well, I think this is also not the first time it's been lost.
Correct. But it was in his house.
Lost.
It was in his house. He just
was in his
didn't know
pocket.
where.
The other one was in his pocket when he lost it, but this one was actually lost.
I mean, Jim brings up a good point. Why would you wear it? 2, can you imagine the people that have now just scoured that place? Because if you can actually find it, either selling it or demanding some amount of money back from him to get it back would be.
Well, let's think positive. Maybe he dropped it under the car seat and found it a couple months later. I did that.
You had a Super Bowl ring?
No, my wedding ring. Well, not like sort of like the rubber one that I wear like when I'm running around doing stuff. I thought I lost it in Buffalo. I bought another one like to use, and then 2 months later I found it in the car.
Front drive.
You're supposed to say that especially when your wife's sitting that close to you.
It wasn't the real one. It was one of the artificial ones. It's not the
artificial wedding ring.
It was like a rubber.
So the wedding's not official then?
Nope, it's artificial.
Oh man, unbelievable!
All right, new news.
All right, can we reel it back in just a little bit?
I don't know about that. Hopefully Anthony's got a nice soft cushion in the basement or something.
That carpet down there is very soft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Or you can sleep out there with that groundhog or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They'll dig a hole for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll fit.
And the holes that they dig, you'll be able to fit right in. Don't you worry. All right. Can I find anybody that kind of wants to be in my corner to talk about the Flyers for just a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
I was truly very excited for the season that they had, but I was very disappointed in the way they came out last night for the game. A game that meant so much. I just didn't think they came out, guns a-blazing. I was not excited about the start of the game. I wasn't excited about the middle of the game or the end of the game. Brian, I'm so tired of hearing about them running out of gas. That's a young team, young players, balls to the wall. There's 100 excuses.
Right.
And I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not a Torts fan. I wasn't a Torts fan at the beginning when they hired him, and I'm less a Torts fan 2 years in. So it just annoyed the living hell out of me that they came that far, and they should have brought. I mean, they just let Washington take the game to them. And I just found that totally unacceptable. And, I just totally annoyed. Great season, horrible finish. And I don't know where they're heading in the off season, because, a once proud franchise, is, you're back to square one. You have no goaltender. You have no center. You have players that they hit a wall, like Travis Konechny, I thought was going to have a 50, 60 goal season. And he just shuts it down. And I blame the coach for that. I just don't know if the players listen to him. I just lost a lot of confidence there, but hopefully it's just me. But I was very disappointed in. I know the 8-game losing streak had a lot to do with it,
Right?
but it just wasn't looking for the finish that I wanted.
So, since we talked a lot about Joel Embiid and injuries are part of the game and all that kind of stuff. So the situation with Carter Hart, how different do you think the season would have ended up? Would it have ended up any differently if none of that would have happened?
I was a huge Carter Hart fan. Putting all the, that whole situation, over there, because I don't know all the particulars. I don't know enough about it.
Right.
I don't care to engage in conversation about that from a hockey standpoint. He was your goaltender of the future.
Right.
That was one of the building blocks of putting this team back, into playoff contention.
Right.
You end up with Sam Ersson, who gave you solid effort every night, but he's not a star. Can he become a starting goaltender? Maybe. But you right there, that just wrecked your season.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with the kid who didn't want to play in Philadelphia, Cutter
Goudier,
there's another shot in, Philly's, back, that the team had to deal with. They got a nice player in return, but guess what? He's often injured.
Right.
That was the label that he got when he came here from the Ducks.
Right.
So, injuries played into that as well. They got 3 or 4 contracts that, guys that, what are they going to do? You can't eat them all. Can't eat all those contracts. So, it's going to be an interesting offseason. I don't know how aggressive Danny Briere is going to be, but disappointed, very disappointed. And I thought, where the coach was pointing fingers at the press, at the players, he pointed them at everybody. He needs to look himself in the mirror and said, am I the right guy for this job?
So you say that you're really disappointed, and I guess that confuses me a little bit because no one even expected them to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So that was never even part of the conversation. They were always expected to basically be subpar this year.
Well,
so that even got to that point where the 82nd game meant something. Isn't that something to be excited about?
I was proud of that. I was also very proud of the way they played the good teams. They put themselves in a good spot. and then, like I said, the 8-game losing streak kind of dismantled, their playoff hopes. You get up there and now all of a sudden, hey, I can play with these guys. I can play in this league. The players didn't buy in that this was a rebuilding season. No. When a lot of these guys, were proven, players in this league, they just needed a little help from management, to go out and maybe grab a piece at the trade deadline, you know what I mean? And help with the scoring, they sat on their hands. So I was a little disappointed there.
Yeah. It was just really game 71 through 82 was where the
well, John, it was
the letdown, right?
And I got into it last week with Don Selesky, and
right.
about the coach and you're sitting your best damn players.
Right.
Konechny led the team in goals. You're sitting him. Couturier gets named captain. 2 weeks later, he gets the healthy scratch title for a couple of nights. Anthony, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, yeah. If it wasn't for that losing streak there, I feel like people would have generally been okay with kind of how much better they got, because I don't think anyone was expecting the season that they had. So yeah, I feel like it's disappointing, but
the fans are back. I mean, they were they had sellout games there at the Wells Fargo Center. I mean, the fans were back. They were buying into this team when when they showed the fact that they were what, John, in third place in the Metropolitan for just about the whole season.
Yeah, it was like 124 days. It was like that they were, in the playoffs.
I can't help but be disappointed. I was excited for last night. I thought the effort was going to be, so much better than it was, and I just was totally disappointed.
Well, and it was tie 1-1, and to lose, from an empty netter goal is that's a hard to swallow.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
But you had to go for it. That was.
I'm not saying that you didn't. I'm not saying that they did anything wrong. I'm just saying,
should have more goals.
I guess to sum up the Flyers season in a nutshell. There you go.
Well, that and Detroit scores with 3 seconds left in the game, and
I think that was the nut buster right there.
Right. I mean, because if they went to overtime themselves, then the Flyers win the game in regulation, and they're in the playoffs today instead of sitting at home. So
hey,
3 seconds, basically,
the big bad Penguins didn't make the playoffs either.
Nope.
Right. Because let's face it, if that 3 seconds would have been maybe 5 minutes earlier in the Flyers schedule, maybe they don't pull the goalie and they see that they, Detroit lost. That then, all right, we'll shoot it out, with full strength and hope that we get that goal. But they had to pull all the strings.
just more disappointment.
Right. You were so close, and you got.
Well, I mean, we look at, and we can go back to the beginning of the show, with the Sixers and the early exit in the playoffs, and the 10-1 Eagles last year. What happened to that season?
Right.
And what happened to the Phillies in postseason versus the Arizona Diamondbacks?
Right.
I mean, does this all comes full circle, right?
Oh yeah, it's Philadelphia. You get so close. It's like Lucy with Charlie Brown kicking the football out from under him. Every year.
Is it not exciting to be playing playoff and championship baseball and Super Bowl? You're damn right it is.
Right.
You get that close and your adrenaline is super high. It's like the adrenaline we all have, on Wednesday nights for 1 hour to talk Philly sports. You know how many other cities in America would love to be, Philly sports town?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, you got, on a Wednesday rainy, cold night down at Citizens Bank, you got 25,000 people down there, rooting on the Phillies.
They would have had 40, but the other 15 are watching the show right now.
Wow. I'll still wash my hair.
That's another thing that screwed them up because they moved the game up earlier. They had the regular start time, and you would have
some of the kids don't get home from school till 6 o'clock.
Right? Exactly.
Well, I guess it should just sum it up by shows you how hard things are. It's not easy to win.
Oh no, absolutely.
It's not easy to win. It doesn't matter what sport, what team you're playing that day. It's not easy to win, and hockey's tough, man. Yeah, if you won a couple of those games, you wouldn't have to worry about it, but you didn't. So it's like, well, hopefully those guys, the guys that are coming back, see it as a momentum going into next year, right, as they're watching from home, because they should have been there.
But you know what is easy though? Lauren's layups. Let's jump in there. Let's jump right in there. Lauren's layups.
That's great.
Another new segment of the show.
I'm not as cool as Johnny. All right. It's another food-related question, and this one we get a lot on the Mattis Minute. So I want all of your inputs. You only get to pick one food that you can have however much you want for the rest of your life.
Can you put some on it?
Can you put
like
something
if you say hot dog,
it?
I eat it dry?
No, it's however you like to eat these particular foods. Okay. Cheesesteak, pizza, wings. But you can only pick one. And that means the other two you can never have again.
Cheesesteak, pizza, or wings.
Right. Boneless, bone-in, whatever, doesn't matter. Those three things. What are you picking? I'll go first, and the board is already trending in my direction, which is cheesesteak.
That's what I had for dinner tonight.
I got to go cheesesteak.
Yeah, I'm going with Tom. I'm a pizza junkie because you can do so much with it. As far as toppings and
that was my little way of skating around it as well. Using that, you can change it up all the time.
The pizza,
yeah.
I mean, you do the same thing with a cheesesteak. Back in the day, I was a big cheesesteak hoagie guy.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I used to pound them like there was no tomorrow. But I don't. The pizza thing has just. I love all the toppings. Whether it's meat or veggies or. Love peppers, onions, and mushrooms. I'm definitely going pizza. You're not talking me out of it.
All right, I wasn't planning on it. Me?
Well, I like pizza, but I think it's definitely wings. I love wings.
Do you love wings, or you just love the wings from that particular place because you like the sauce?
Well, you got to have all this is pertaining to a good one. I don't want to have a crappy cheesesteak or a
correct
pizza. So It's got to be good. It's got to be what you want to eat.
Okay.
But no, I think I would pick, if I had to choose just one of them, I'd probably pick wings. Cheesesteak's fine, but I'd get bored of it after a while.
Okay. Johnny?
Pizza close second because there's so many.
No, we're not ranking them. We're not ranking them. You only get to pick one, and then you lose the other two forever.
All right, see ya.
All right.
And Tony, from one Tony to the other, they want to know what place, AP. What place is your wing place?
In Reading, there's a place called the Pike Cafe. Mm-hmm. The wings and the sauce are so good.
But the wings are so little, they're like small, paper clips.
The wings are a little smaller. I think the price of wings have gone up.
Is there any meat on them?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Somebody's taking a shot at your wedding ring, so.
You're right.
These listeners got great memories, so.
I'm gonna, as much as I like cheesesteaks, I think I'm gonna have to go with the pizza as well, just because.
Yeah,
just because you can change it up a lot.
Okay.
2, 1, and 1.
You got meatball, pepperoni, plain. You could, you could have like a different pizza every day of the week.
Okay. And there you go.
But I would miss my cheesesteaks though. That's for sure.
You can't have two.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying.
So, Tony, I have a question about the wings.
Yeah.
Flats or drums?
Flats. If I never saw a drum again, I would never. I wouldn't care. Flats all day long.
Do you ask for flats only?
What's that?
Do you ask for flats only when you order them?
No. I feel like that's a more recent thing. I've seen that on menus now, but I've never done that. But no, that's what I would prefer. I mean, sometimes the drums are they're so like fat and grizzly. I just want a nice solid piece there.
Yep, flats all the way.
Joe Stinger's asking for best pizza.
One in my
tell
stomach.
you what, I found a spot in Granite Run, but best pizzas got to be Pika's in Upper Darby and Westchester. Love their pizza. Don't get it enough, but I found a nice little pizza joint here in what's it called, Sue? Lima Pizza.
Yeah, Lima. Yep.
Very good. It's so consistent.
That's who used to have really great pizza, Dad? Bryn Mawr Pizza.
Oh yeah. That was an every Friday night thing. Remember?
It's not even there anymore.
No.
And then Brookline Pizza.
Brookline was good. Yeah. But remember the owner? Remember the owner up there at Bryn Mawr? He was the grouchiest old piece of shit. Oh my God, he was so grumpy.
But I didn't care. That pizza was so good.
It was square, right? It was the square pizza. Yep.
Yeah,
B&S in Fairless Hills.
Yep.
It's a little bit out of our way. Collegeville.
I think Amato's is better in that Fairless Hills area, but
that's your neck of the woods, John.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got my mother-in-law. She likes the V&S pizza, so that's why I have to stick with Amato's.
Yeah. It's funny. Good pizza seems to be hard to find nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Anthony tells me that all the time.
Still looking.
Yeah, especially coming from New York. He tells me that all the time.
No disrespect, but I mean, there's a lot of edible pizza's always, there's never a bad pizza. You can always eat a pizza. It could be the worst pizza ever. It's still edible, right?
When I'm hungry, what do I throw in the oven?
Well, yeah, we got Elio's. Yeah. It's all edible. Cafeteria pizza, it's all edible, but no, I mean, not being one of those guys, but coming from New York, there's the pizza here is not the same. I don't know. I'm sure there is someplace somewhere, but I haven't had it just yet. But
all right.
Yeah, that definitely because you can always do a taco pizza. Yeah, definitely pizza. Definitely.
John is still trying to decide.
Well, I mean, because it's a tough thing, but then you could do a buffalo chicken pizza. Like, I mean, you can almost do a cheesesteak pizza. So,
all right, it's a hypothetical question. It's not real.
No, it's serious. When
don't
bring up food to John O'Brien.
Not especially since when the man's hungry and that's all he's going to be thinking about for the 45-minute ride home. He's going to be thinking about.
Get a taco pizza down from Tony Roni's.
That's not easy to eat on the way home. That'll be all over the place.
Oh, yeah. I have full faith in John.
Oh yeah, I know. I could. I've done it before. I've done pizza with that.
All right, Anthony Pignetti, you're on the hot seat.
Full name.
Huh?
You're on the hot seat.
He's scared now.
Saturday, noon to 2. What are we going to be doing?
We got Hall of Famer Bill Mazeroski coming in. Be there or be square. I got his address today to pick him up. He's bringing his grandson. I think he said a high school senior. I think. He's ready to go. He's good to go.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Very nice.
It's another one of those outside the box signings for Carl's Cards and Collectibles. We love it. We love doing them. We've had a strong response. Ticket sales are good. Mail order and drop-offs. I feel mail order for this one. John, correct me if I'm wrong. I think mail order for this one has been over the top.
Oh yeah, no, we definitely had a lot of mail orders. We're gonna be busy on Friday trying to get them all organized.
We're a Philly-based shop, and I've heard the question, why a Pittsburgh Pirate? And I'm like, well, I think this might have been our 4th or 5th one, so we're going up the ladder. So why not a Hall of Famer, an 8-time Gold Glover, a 10-time All-Star? Retired number 9.
Oh yeah.
So,
coming from all over Texas, North Carolina,
Arizona.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different places.
I'd like to see one of those USA charts, that Lauren likes to do.
Well, you have to tell me all the places you've gotten stuff from.
We're all over the place.
Just all over the pins everywhere.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So, if you're close to Havertown, if you're not close to Havertown, and we can help you get an autographed card, baseball, whatever. I've never saw, Anthony, you're going to love this. Mm-hmm. I've never seen so many 1957 Topps rookie cards.
Sure.
At any one signing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, when you get guys like that are eager to do, there's not, that we talk about all the time, not to keep this going on, but like a guy in the Hall of Fame with that many accomplishments that you could just list on and on and on and on, that doesn't happen every day. And if some of those current guys get to that point, I don't know that we'd be able to have them at the store because they'd be charging some astronomical rate. So we just got to enjoy this stuff while we can and have a good
We're going to enjoy every minute of it on Saturday. So thank you. Thanks for picking him up and taking him back to his home. Thanks to everybody who joined in tonight. Great having you back, Brian Brown. You always got great input. Jim Wright, we love Jim Wright. He's one of our top dogs at our live shows. Let's go Sixers, right?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Come on, Lauren. I
said, oh yeah.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the enthusiasm I'm used to.
All right, well.
She's going to be the front of the line when.
I'm going to be
when the parade's going down Broad Street.
Oh yeah, she'll be right there, dragging her mom right up Chickies and Pete's.
Dragging her mom.
Yep.
Dragging her cooler of beer, you mean?
Yeah, that too.
I got 2 hands.
Closing comments, thoughts, questions, and anything. Lauren, you got an event Sunday. I know you're proud of, and I need one of those 4-packs too. By the way.
Okay,
that's
Friday night. Friday night is our can release party. It's called Slobber Lager.
Yep.
That's with Pagoda City Brewing. So we're doing that from 6 to 8 p.m. at their tap house, which is specifically on Carroll Street. They have a couple of locations for those that are local to the area. So we've got that Friday night. And then Sunday, we have our pop-up Pints for Pups event back at our dog park in Birdsboro. The Slobber Lager will also be there. But then we'll also have 40 other samples of beer, wine, mixed drinks, all kinds of different stuff. Tickets are still available through humanepa.org, so folks can go on there and still buy some tickets. We have a VIP ticket. We have a general admission ticket. We have a designated driver and a kid ticket, so something for everybody. And then there's going to be a really great food truck there as well that folks can buy from. So we're excited about that, and we're just a couple weeks away from our walk.
Nice. Very good.
Yep.
And Reading Fighting Phils are back home Tuesday night.
Tuesday through Sunday. I think our first fireworks show's on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday's a big Philly Fanatic Day at the ballpark, and it's also our Ready Set Read Day. So it's Sunday at the ballpark next week, not this week, the week after, Tuesday of next week. There should be, if there's nice weather, there'd be 8,000-9,000 people there. It's gonna be packed. So
nice, very good. Yep. Good luck to both you guys. You work your ass off, and you deserve nothing but success. So
thank you.
We're there. We'll support you. Johnny, closing comments.
Keep listening to the fantasy baseball. Look at the once the Google spreadsheet comes out, you'll be able to see it. Which and you learn. Look through the numbers, and you can see different players. How some guys don't have great weeks, but they're still good players. So, you'll get to realize that, hey, not every day, somebody's gonna hit 6 home runs and have 25 RBIs in one day. It just doesn't happen all the time. you're going to have bad times. So it makes you appreciate the game a little bit more.
All right.
We've got to. You're not stressing over every game.
We are. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings next
Sunday or next Wednesday night.
Next Wednesday night. So we're looking forward to that with Hollis Thomas.
The draft right up around the corner.
It'll be a pre-draft draft party.
That's right.
Because the NFL draft is the following night. Yep. So we're going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings. Anthony, we probably won't see you because you'll have a game.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yep.
I'll send you home a bucket of flats.
There you go. I appreciate that.
There you go. Yep. So I think we're going to have our man Eric out there as well with a whole lot of Buffalo Wild Wings swag. That seemed to be a big hit last time.
Real big.
With Chris Jenkins. So we got a lot of good things happening, but great show, guys. Thanks, everybody, for jumping on board with us tonight. We appreciate it. And I hope to see many of you Saturday for Bill Mazeroski. Joe Stinger, I got you. You're in the book. We'll get you a baseball, not a problem. Yep. And if that's it, I think we could close the book on this one.
There you go. Everybody have a great night. See you next
care.
week.